I've always loved city life, the energy, the diversity, but nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to face. It started with small things, finding my favorite coffee shop suddenly out of my favorite muffins, seeing the same person on the bus every day, but never really paying attention until I noticed him outside my apartment. At first, I thought it was just a coincidence, but as the days went by, I realized he was always there, watching. He was clever, disguising himself as a street performer, playing the guitar, or doing tricks for money. People loved him, they'd stop and watch, throw money into his hat, and he'd smile and thank them. But I knew he was different when our eyes met. It wasn't the smile he gave the crowd, it was the gaze he held when he thought no one was looking. It was intense, it was personal, and it was terrifying. I tried to ignore him, to walk away, but he'd follow, always keeping his distance, always performing for the crowd. I felt like I was in some twisted movie, where the lines between reality and entertainment were blurred. One day, I decided I had enough, I approached him, and that's when I saw it, a small tattoo on his wrist, mime. It clicked, the way he'd mimic my movements, the way he'd appear and disappear into the crowd. He wasn't just a stalker, he was an artist, and I was his muse. The city that once felt so alive, now felt suffocating, and I knew I had to get out, to escape the performance. But as I turned to leave, he started to follow, the crowd cheering, thinking it was part of the act. That's when I realized I wasn't just fighting for my privacy, I was fighting for my identity, for the right to not be a part of his twisted show. I quickened my pace, the sound of his footsteps behind me, the roar of the crowd fading into the distance. And then, I saw it, a small alleyway to my left, and without hesitation, I ran into it. The silence was abrupt, a stark contrast to the chaos I had just left behind. I was finally alone, finally free. But as I turned to look back, I saw him, standing at the entrance of the alley, the city lights reflecting off his face, and on his lips, a small smile. It was then that I understood, I had become a part of his art, a part of his mime. The city, the crowd, the performance, it was all just a backdrop, a canvas for his twisted masterpiece. And I was just a character that had to be silenced, had to be erased.